And welcome back to another episode of Football Tussle. Let me start by saying it's been an eventful last 5 to 6 days where we have lost the original GOAT, which was Pele there still. R.I.P. Pele there. I think what's it called his funerals today, or is in waiting, and as well as at the stadium, the Santos Stadium there in Brazil for today and tomorrow. What's it called? He took football to a different level with the many skills that he done there, which other people
did it
claim. But it was for me still the best player ever.
Right.
Regardless, people can say Messi, Maradona, whatever, but for me,
it's just this. Even
if people never got to see him. Yeah.
He's just this generation. I think Messi for a certain generation is the greatest of all time. But if we combine them, for his the greatest in this generation, if we're saying the greatest ever, then Pele did it first.
And you have to remember, he still to this day is the only player to win 3 World Cups. No one else has achieved that feat. That's a major feat.
It's a major feat. Ronaldo came close. R9 came close. But
the key word, close.
He came close. He came second in France '98. I think he won in '94. Lost '98, won in 2002, so he could have been up there with.
He could have been up there, even though that R9 is a legend in himself anyway. Still, but R.I.P. What's he called to Pele there? Still, sad news.
Yeah.
But moving on now to the Prem there still, and what exciting times once again for the Arsenal fans. The Arsenal fans they're going on stronger and stronger, the football there still. They say, you lose Jesus. Do we need to get a striker? Do we need to get this or whatever? But once again, as I said in previous episodes, even last season on other teams, a sign of a top team is when you can get goals from all angles.
Yep.
All angles. And I used to say that about Liverpool. We'll talk about them in due time anyway, but it's about Arsenal now still. What have we got to say? Arsenal, they were saying that it was going to be a difficult away trip to Brighton.
Relax. The thing is, listen, they if someone had told me Arsenal would have been 7 points clear top of the table right now, I would have been like, what? Like, you're chatting. Well, listen,
the 7 points clear last game.
But no, I'm saying at the start of the season.
Okay.
But no, it's been. Listen, the game. There was a good game. I mean, there's still defensive errors that we experience every time with Gabriel and Saliba, and I've said it so many times, and that they're still good defenders, but they still got errors in them. But I'm just happy with what Arteta is doing. I'm happy that every player they're playing to the maximum capacity. And what a player do we have in Martin Odegaard, the captain of the team, 24. And I remember when Odegaard came, people were laughing and saying when he came on loan, and people were like, it's a bit lightweight and it's like Ceballos and another guy from Madrid, but it's proving everyone wrong. And now the rumors are that he's got a buyback clause, just to hating people, but there's no buyback clause. And I feel Arteta is building a great team, because you look at the front four against Brighton, Martinelli, Nketiah, Saka, they were all on the. Odegaard was the oldest player, and he was 24. So exactly, so
it's bright.
Exactly. So maybe Liverpool need to take a quick look.
All of a sudden, how the tables are turned is we're now having a quick look. But anyway, as I said, a little dig at Liverpool. We'll get to them when it's due. But definitely for Arsenal, brilliant stuff once again. They keep motoring on, gunning for more wins there still. And as you said, it was a very good performance.
I think tomorrow will be crucial when we play Newcastle. That'll be very
definitely
big.
I don't see anything but from an Arsenal win there still. But for me, Arsenal started only conceding and making a few mistakes when Arteta thought that the game was won. He started to bring on fullbacks of Thomas Ashu. I can't even say his name as well.
Ashu?
There you are, Thomas Ashu.
What game Thomas Ashu? What game you playing there? My goodness.
Started to make some changes, and mistakes were there. Crucial VAR in your favor there on the third goal there for
Brighton. That would have been 4-3 anyway.
Even though, sorry?
That would have made it 4-3.
But there was about 5 or 6 minutes to go there, and Arsenal were creaking there still. But anyway, you got the job done. Well done there. I heard what's it called? Not easy to go to the MX Stadium there still, but you done
They're
your
not the
job there.
same.
Well done.
They're not the same
They're not
outfit.
the same, obviously,
Not the
but
same. Not the
still,
same.
what's it called? They're not. They haven't got the same caliber there of team there. Still, Miss McAllister, Tussle is still he's lost his form there. Still, I don't know what's happened to him anyway. I think what's it called? He needs to leave anyway in the summer anyway. Him and then McAllister as well. But yeah, well done. You keep what's it called motoring on, and it looks bright there still. And we'll see, as you said, with that game that you're now coming into a key period of games there for Arsenal. There, you got obviously you got Newcastle, you got Spurs, you got I think I don't know if it's Man City or Man United coming up in the next what's it called few weeks, but take each game as it comes, as they say. That's all it has to be.
You call it a bit what's in front of you.
Yeah, they are. Moving on to once again the defending champions. Or was it defending champions after what happened there against who was it? Who were they playing against? Everton. If you talk about accumulator spoiler, that was one of them still. Because everyone would have put their hand up, even Everton fans, to say that you would have thought maybe 3 or 4 past them.
Yeah.
Is he too cocky now? Too arrogant sometimes? Lineup was poor.
I don't think the lineup was poor. I thought Pep is very arrogant with, I've picked this lineup. I'm going to try to justify the fact that I've picked this lineup and this lineup should be winning. Because I don't see how when Everton scored in the second half.
64th minutes.
I don't see how.
You might give it to 70 minutes.
Yeah, I don't understand how in 70 minutes with the way you saw the game was going. Why? And, Everton made it really cagey by, playing 5 at the back and made it really tough for City to break through. I don't see the reason why you didn't make no changes and you made them to the 87th minute.
Which was nonsense.
That was ridiculous.
Your friend that we always talk about, Grealish, what's he called? Why is it? I mean, even though he played well the game before, even though it was a nice little,
he's not good enough, man.
But for me, I was surprised that even he started back-to-back games. Foden, as you said, sometimes he's just too arrogant for his own good. Pep there. I was surprised that Foden once again was on the bench.
Long may he continue, man. I don't mind him being arrogant.
Obviously, for you as an Arsenal fan, you don't mind him. Yeah, but for me, and the thing is now, there's a little bit of a pattern going on there for Man City. That's back-to-back games where they've dropped points. Before the World Cup break or whatever, they lost to Brentford at home. Now they've lost they dropped points against Everton. And that was a free hit for Everton. Lampard went into that game under huge pressure. So anything that you could get from that game was a bonus. That's a bonus point.
Everton played out of the skin. And
but they didn't expect anything from that game.
The goal from Gray, the pure inspiration, and he's been a very good signing for Everton. When I look at the player of the season, and I'm trying to think like the players that really come on for Everton. If I'm trying to pick, I have to say him, Gray, Iwobi, and maybe Pickford. And I think right now he's neck and neck with Iwobi and Gray, and I probably might just give it to Gray. Reason why people might say Iwobi's improved a lot, but you talk about the player that scored crucial goals or scored equalizing goals for them in the games has been Demarai Gray. The Everton team is poor, but my goodness, does he stand up and
there you go.
One of the most influential players.
And when you talk about the buys that they've done in the previous years, as you said, I think he came for a snip at 1.7 million or just under £2 million or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say 2 million, so 1.7 not
far. That's a confidence booster game there for Everton for their game in midweek if they can turn it around.
I don't know if it's a confidence booster because I think they might even lose them. I just feel like it's a bonus point, like you were saying.
Well, so you're saying that they turn up for the Lord Mayor show, and then next game you wouldn't be surprised if they got turned over.
They lost against Wolves before playing Man City.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So
it's true. Let's see who they got. They got who's it? Let's have a quick look there.
They got Brighton next.
Yeah, Brighton there. I don't know. That's a game that they should be looking at to try and see if they can get 3 points there. Because as we saw,
they should be, but Brighton wouldn't. It's going to be a tough game, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, well done to Everton to get a free hit point there. Still, Man City better back up their ideas. They've got a tough game away against Chelsea, which is a bogey team for them as well for Man City there. So we'll talk about Chelsea in due time. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Good news there for Arsenal that Man City dropped points. They can't afford to be dropping too many other points there. But moving on to another team that's in form and players that are in form there. Man United there and Rashford. He overslept. You must have about 3, 4, 5 alarms. We've all done it anyway. But Rashford, more professional.
You saw during the interview when they said I overslept. The hands were in the face and trying to.
Yeah, he's trying to do the old cover there still, but you don't expect to hear that nonsense from him. You might understand getting stuck in traffic there, but oversleeping.
But it is. Look, listen, it is refreshing.
Oh, it's human. Yeah,
it's human. It's refreshing for him to like tell us fans we're tired of, players being dropped and we don't even know the reason why the players being dropped, and then we're questioning the manager. Listen, it happens sometimes. Once in a while, you could be gone and you oversleep and.
Sure. I'm sure you've done it yourself a couple of times for work.
Don't worry about me. There, we've all done it.
The alarm's gone off, and then it's been put on snooze. Next time, 2 hours later, there's panic mode.
Shocking. Next minute, even those ones you just calling quickly, you just calling sick. Yeah. Don't feel too good. There's no one point. Sometimes you don't want to talk you when you show up late, man. You're just calling sick. But back to Rashford. Listen, Rashford has been. I'm happy for him because this time last year, many Man United supporters, fans, and they know themselves. Were saying this guy should leave the club. He's not good enough. He's rubbish. We were
questioning them ourselves there. Let's not just blow them on
them. I never questioned them. No. I never said no. I always believed. I always go back. I said the guy is quality. Let me check. And then I had people saying even one time he was linked with Arsenal, but I'm glad that fair enough he overslept, and the way his stars have been aligned and shows you when things are going good for you, they are going good. Because he overslept, dropped out of the team, came in on second half, the team were poor, scored the winning, and listen, that's the way to sort of tell the manager, listen, it was a genuine mistake. I've stopped.
That's it.
And
he wasn't moody. He wasn't moody. He was still hungry. And what's it
called?
Of
course.
Players, what's it called? Cristiano Ronaldo, that kind of thing. We know he'll throw his toys out the pram.
Leave Ronaldo alone. Jeez.
We just have to. Hopefully we'll get enough time to talk about him anyway.
Let him retire easily. Leave him alone.
What retirement? He's still playing anyway.
I said let him enjoy his retirement time. Let him enjoy this last few years.
Big pension there, 485,000 a day. But anyway, we'll move on to the eyes as well. They said put Neymar and and Messi's contracts together, and he earns more than them. In a couple of days? They said brilliant from him. But
that's why I went there.
Yeah, there you go. And what does it say about the likes of Man United's centre backs, the likes of Maguire and Lindelof, that Luke Shaw is now a centre back and partner there for Varane until Martinez fully back into fitness.
No, I think Ten Hag justified that by saying they've been both ill. So
yeah, I'm sorry that he was ill the game before, but that illness has been clean. So it was a good cover there. That worked the first game, not that game. I'm sorry, it's a good one, but the second game, I'm sorry, that illness is what he was on the bench there. Lindelof was as well, so it's saying something. Even Rio Ferdinand was saying that maybe he needs to find another team.
Oh no, definitely Maguire does, and I'll be damn well. I don't know which one players, but I'll be very upset if I see him play for a top 4 club. He's not good enough.
Yeah, I don't think no other top 4 clubs going to come in for him. Even though Spurs are crying out for defenders, but I don't think they will.
Oh, that would be awful. Maguire, Dier, Lenglet, Romero. That was so awful. There's too many awful names in Spurs at the back line. He would just come down to.
But anyway, Man United on very good form. Rashford is like a new signing there for them, even though I think they still need to buy a striker this transfer window. Because anything can happen. We know Rashford can go cold easily. So and Martial we know is a sick note anyway. So they do need to do something in the.
Well, you guys done them by signing Gakpo. Man United fans thought they were in to get Gakpo. Next minute, everything was quiet. 24 hours, Liverpool made a deal.
How you have to do business, but then you hear Gary Neville talking about the old sour talk I think we've already got players that are like Gappo, then Anthony and what's it called, and Rashford and Martial. But you know the sour talk, but it is what it is there anyway. But they still need to maybe
You
find
still
a
need
striker
more.
anyway.
I mean, they do somewhat, but you still need more because Sancho's
Yeah,
got to.
definitely. And then we'll see how that goes anyway. Moving on to another team that obviously has been one of the wonders of this season, Newcastle there, and what's it called, against Leeds there. Newcastle did everything they could do to try and score, but it's just one of those days that the ball didn't enter the net against
Yeah,
Leeds.
that's all I've got to say for that game. Leeds got battered. Like you look at the
Yeah,
stats, you look at the total shots. Newcastle doubled Leeds. They had 16 shots as opposed to
yeah.
Leeds 8, and then they created 7 big chances. The left back Burn, Shaw, Trippier, the whole, and it was so crazy that the game when I was looking at the highlights of the game and looking more into it, is that the Newcastle defenders were the ones sort of getting at the end of like trying to score
Yeah.
for the team, and it's crazy that they're doing the defending and also
That's it. They
you know
look like what's it called, the offensive threat there still. The likes of
exactly.
Chris Wood was
But
sleeping there. Even
yeah,
Almiron
but
didn't have the best of game, even though he
you
played all
didn't,
right there still.
you didn't. But they were
I think
unlucky. But
yeah, it was
they were
unlucky
lucky. But
anyway still.
yeah,
But we all also know that Newcastle are also punching above their weight. So sometimes
they
results like
said
this, yeah,
they
so
said in the
results
table.
like this will sometimes come about. But really, they should have needed to maybe win this game, especially when they know that they got Arsenal around the corner. But it is what it is anyway. Still,
I mean, it's
they're
not
still
guaranteed.
hard, they're very hard to beat.
It's for me. I don't think it's guaranteed we're going to beat Newcastle. I feel
No,
like
they're not.
that game,
But you go into that game as I think you go into that game because you're at home as favourites.
yes, you're going as favors, but no, if that game was to end as a draw, it wouldn't surprise me. You look at their goal record. I think they got the best defensive,
Oh
not goal
yeah,
record, the best defensive record in the league.
yeah.
11. There you go.
There you
So,
go.
so it wouldn't be as it
It should
wouldn't
be
be
a good game anyway. Definitely one of those ones there. What's it to watch anyway tomorrow? Anyway, moving on to another a team there that had a poor last game before that was Palace, Bournemouth versus Palace there. So yeah, so Palace went into that game. They needed to try and get themselves back from. I think they got 2 players sent off in the game previously or something like that. Anyway, so it was a good away performance win there for them and a clean sheet at that.
I was
Bournemouth a bit
surprised with the clean
shaky
sheet.
now. Yeah, go on.
No. Go on, Carrie. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, not too much to say on that match there. It's just that what's it called? Palace needed to get some goals in and good set play corner goals from both of them to get the 2 goals and the 3 points. Well done to Palace and Vieira there.
Lisa, it would be Michael Lisa on both of those. So well done to getting a couple of assists. I think he's a good player.
Definitely was
And
good to see.
he's definitely a good player. I don't know where his allegiance is, but I think we need to start looking into that.
I think he needs to maybe look at what's it called, his parents' country and stuff like that.
Exactly. Because I don't think
forget that England nonsense there.
Yeah, exactly. I know he's 21, but that's my problem with these players, and I've said it so many times where they wait so long
before it's too late,
and then next minute the whole country makes the World Cup, then they want to switch.
At the last moment.
I don't want to swear live on air, but he's a good player, and I just feel like if some country start having conversations with him,
there you go.
Good Palace.
And Bournemouth, they just need to try and get back there. They're doing all right under O'Neill there, but it was just a disappointed game there. They've got another tough game there away to Man United there on tomorrow Wednesday. So
they should lose anything.
I don't see any.
I don't see nothing coming out there.
Yeah, so they just need to try and get themselves back anyway. But I don't see it happening. Then we got Fulham there versus Southampton there. That was a little bit of topsy-turvy game there. Fulham scraped over the line there. I mean, Ward-Prowse scoring in both ends. But when Ward-Prowse scores in the right end, they're specials. They're specials. Maybe he should go to the World Cup just in case, instead of that, use Madison. But
so
anyway,
he didn't. Listen,
he didn't make the squad.
That's what I'm saying. I said, how many times has this guy been on the edge of the squad and not making it? And they've taken players who are all peppers deemed fat in Phillips. Get out of here.
That was it. That says it all anyway. But I mean, another team that's doing very well this season there, and It's Fulham there. Marco Silva, they're up to 8th in the table. They're doing brilliantly. What's it called under Marco Silva? There,
He's got a score to settle like Predator there when with Billy Duke and Carl Weathers. I've got a score to settle against the He's got a score to settle against the Premier League, and so listen,
and he's doing an excellent job there still. And
fantastic job. Fantastic.
Even though what's it called, Mitrovic blew himself for missing a penalty there still in the injury time there.
I was happy anyway. FPL fantasy, I didn't have him as well, so I was happy.
Yeah, I had him there. But anyway, Fulham are on a good what's it called run, and they're doing well. As I said, up to 8th there. They can they can maybe if they're still
relax.
What was I gonna say?
Maybe they could make Europe. Forget that. Listen, Fulham should be happy with 10th.
Well, yeah, I mean, what's it called? Because what's Europe? Is that 7th? I don't know if it's 7th. Anyway,
7th.
Yeah, anyway, it's true. I don't think they'll get there because
Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah. What's it? And maybe 8th or whatever. But then you got Villa. But we'll see how it goes anyway. Moving on to the games on Sunday there, and then once again, we get it every 2 to 3 months. The Conte rant. The Conte rant. This time he was talking about I need at least
70
players, 70 million each transfer window. What dreamland is he in? Did he say each transfer window or did he say each summer?
He said each transfer window.
So you're telling me that they should pay what's it called 67? So say like 140 million in August or whatever, and another 100. He doesn't know Daniel Levy, does he? He should know right now.
I think I don't know where I read it. Was it Carragher or Gary Neville saying something about he's trying to find a way out, and it's true. You look at the Spurs team. The Spurs team is stale. We've had this conversation
back there.
We've had this conversation so many times. It's very stale, and the defense is awful, and it just shows you. Like you look at the defense to the midfield, it's just crap. And
the thing is, I pointed out he's talking about money that what he wants to, that they still need to spend. They spent 174 million this summer just gone, and then you wonder where's that money gone on who? Obviously the major buy was Richarlison for 60 million. Then they bought what's it called, Spence. They bought who else? They bought the wrong midfielder from Brighton, Basumo or whatever. He's been an awful signing there for 35 million. Then they bought some other young. There's about 3 or 4 unknown players there that is total maybe 60 million in total there. Shocking buys anyway. But another one that we've spoken about quite a few times, the goalkeeper, whoever's there next summer, needs to change the goalkeeper. His days are over. There's too many howlers now coming into the game from Hugo Lloris. So that's a big place that they need to look at. Creative midfielder. Perisic, he's good. He came free, but his best days are behind him anyway. What's it called? He's still good, but his best days are behind him. Son is Osson. He's been Osson since the new contract or when he got too much singing because he was joint goal scorer last season or whatever there. He thought he was above his station, but in reality, let's know yourself. Harry Kane, there was a record there. They said the first 18 minutes of that game and the first 18 minutes of 2023 Premiership football, he never touched the ball. What a shocker. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he was still in the changing room.
That's the thing with Harry Kane sometimes. He feels like he's 40-year-old. Like,
and not to spend too much time on Harry, I think Daniel Levy is so lucky that is the owner, Joe Lewis, who is on some offshore island tax haven or whatever. Sounds like one of those singers from the Hollywood days, back in the days, Joe Lewis. Or Jerry Lewis, whatever. But he's playing like Joe Lewis anyway, or Jerry. But we don't know if he's dead. I don't want to rush anything like that. But anyway, because we've never seen him. Even though we're not Spurs fans, we've never seen him. We've seen the other owners, but we've never seen this Joe Lewis. We don't know if he's alive or there's a skeleton in the cupboards. But anyway, because he's a father-in-law to Daniel Levy, that's why Daniel Levy's got shares in Spurs. If he didn't have shares in Spurs, he would have been sacked as a chairman a long time ago. How can you be a chairman of a so-called top club, so-called, and you've only, in the last 20 years, you've only won 1 trophy. At that time, it was called the Carling Cup in 2008.
The League Cup, yeah. Listen, For me, I feel Conte is right though. Like we're just going through the team, but then I feel like even when you buy the players should come and they should better the squad. So you look at Richarlison, he's a good player, but has he really done it for Spurs? Not really. You look at Bissouma, it was linked with Arsenal for such a long time. Then
Thank God you didn't go for him.
thank goodness, and he's been poor for Spurs. Then you look,
Spence that they bought from
yeah,
Nottingham Forest. I don't know if it was for Nottingham Forest, Spence
yeah,
or whatever.
Spence, and then
But
you
it looks
spend
like he's spent his force already.
yeah. So you buy him and you don't really play him. You're still playing Doherty and
And all sorts there. For me, it's another thing, a bit like Liverpool there. A lack of creativity. How can you buy so much money and there's no creativity in the team? But anyway,
the miss Bentancur. That's
yeah.
the crucial player.
And once again, the 10th game in a row where they've conceded first. You can't
Yeah.
always play, you cannot always do the miracle comebacks every time.
Every time.
And your friend, your old friend, because you've got quite a few friends in football nowadays.
My goodness.
Your old friend, what's it called? Mr. Good Evening or Good Evening. He's got a good record there because I think he beat Man United there. He's beat I don't know who else he beat. He didn't beat Liverpool, thankfully. But anyway, he's done well there. What's it called since he's come back anyway into the Prem still. As maybe he's another like Silva that's got a what's it called still a bit of a last hurrah with the Premiership anyway. But
I think what he's done. What's his name? Good evening, Emery.
Yeah, Mr. Emery.
I think what he's done is, I think he's settled on his team and he's not trying to force Coutinho and Benuedia in the same team. He's not trying to force that in there, and you could see that obviously Benuedia is actually performing. And my goodness, how things have turned so quickly for one of my friends, Philip Coutinho.
Oh. Another one of your friends. It's almost coming like 11-a-side football team there. Maybe you need to start getting your FA badges or something there still, so you can have all your friends in the lineup there still.
No, that'd be awful team as well. I get sacked after 6 games.
I think there's still a few worse managers out there in the Premiership. Steve Cooper, what's it called? Just to name one anyway. But Nathan Jones, our friend Nathan Jones. Jones.
Well done to Emery. Arsenal, I wanted him out as well because I didn't really like the football we're playing, and I felt like at that time he wasn't playing setting personnel. But I always knew he was a good manager. Not a fit for Arsenal, but I always knew he was a very good manager. So my hatred towards Emery doesn't extend past the fact that he was at my club.
Yeah.
But before he came to Arsenal and after he left, I've always supported him wherever he was. So yeah, well done to him.
Well done there, and keep up the good work, Emery, as long as when you're not playing Liverpool. But moving on to what's it called? What's happening at Chelsea?
A mess.
I mean, they thought they turned the corner the last game where they beat Bournemouth or whatever it was.
It's a mess. It's a
mess.
The
last 8 games, what's happening with Graham Potter? I said it needs to be Harry Potter, but he can't even do that.
He's got no magic wand to change the results. But listen, he's a mess, and I'll keep it nice and short. Like Carragher said, Chelsea, once you hear transfer news, you think Chelsea is linked to it. They're trying to buy everyone. They're trying to buy everyone. And then that typifies through from the management to the players because Bowley trying to buy everyone. Bowley sacking all the past people in the previous regime. Bowley getting rid of Tuchel, didn't give Tuchel enough time. Bringing in Potter playing everyone and doing all sorts. 1 minute this guy's in the team, next minute is wing back, next minute Aubameyang is in the next minute he's on the wings, and next minute's on the bench. And it's just I don't even know Chelsea's style of play. I don't know who's Chelsea's first teamer. In fact, the only player at Chelsea that I could pick that I could say is a first teamer and who's been performing well is a 40-year-old guy, almost 40, in playing in defense, Thiago Silva. The rest are up and top. They're up and down with the form, in and out of the team. It's a mess. It's a mess. Terrible. And I think Potter better be careful as well because many Chelsea fans on Twitter, I remember, wanted this guy in so bad. I know he had earned the right. Don't get me wrong. What he was doing with Brighton, he has earned the right. But once again, he's making the same mistake as Moyes. You don't go to a big club and don't put your stamp away and doing all sorts of nonsense. You get it right. You have enough players in there to get it right. I don't care. You get it right.
He's got better players than he's got at Brighton. So that's
Yes,
what I'm saying. So
you're
maybe
exactly right, man.
maybe can only manage average players that are medium to decent. He
Maybe
can't
maybe
handle
reputation.
egos,
Yeah.
maybe. But once again, even though I'll give Potter a little bit of a what's it called, a bit of lax there.
Why?
It's not
Why?
his squad. And let me just say that.
No, 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 no,
I'm
no, no,
finished there.
no, 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 no,
But
no, no, no.
I'm
I
saying
was
that
gonna let you.
the previous, because all these buys, majority of these buys are being done by the new owner. How
But
can
you
you
know,
buy almost
you know,
180 million on defenders?
you
My
know,
goodness, where's the strike
forget the thing is, you're saying,
for
you're saying,
Fana,
you're saying it's not his,
Kurella,
you're saying it's not his guys.
Koulibaly? My
These
goodness.
are these are good players, or even though some players are past the sell by, like Koulibaly and stuff. You still, if you could work with that team
Carl
at
Havertz.
Brighton.
Who is Carl Havertz?
No, listen. These are good. Kyle is a good player.
What is he?
He's a good player.
Oh, I mean, what position is he?
What? He's a good player. You
That's
play with
it.
the team. He's a
You have
good
to
player.
remember, Carl Havertz came for 75 million. That's what I have
Yes,
to say. But
yes.
he's not justified, even though he scored a winning Champions League goal there still.
He's
That in
done.
itself might pay the 75 million off by itself anyway.
He's done enough. He's made his mark more than Nunez has
Yeah,
done.
but
That's the whole
a
point.
question. He's still
In,
questionable
in
at 75
Chelsea's
million.
in history, when Chelsea players are looking back,
Oh yeah. I agree with that one. But
name,
performance wise, you have to question him. I'm sorry,
the
he's
whole
not.
the whole team's been crap. The whole team has been crap. But
Sterling there's
they're
it's
all been
Sterling
crap.
Silver. Sterling is like the British sterling now, where it's dropping so badly, the US dollar is more than it. That's what's happening with sterling. My goodness. Raheem trying with different hairstyles, it still doesn't work. Pulisic is another one like it's a bit like Clark Kent. I've used that before with Lukaku. Pulisic and Ziyech in the international shirts, they're wonderful. We saw it at the World Cup. Both played very well.
I
But when they
don't
come
think
back to Chelsea, they're awful.
maybe they need to call Lukaku back as well. Maybe because Graham Sinas was saying maybe
For
they need
me,
a number
the
9.
thing
But
is, it's true because that's a good thing that you pointed out. If you're gonna get rid of the likes of Timo Werner and then what's it called Lukaku, which you can in your own right, where's the replacements? Did you just get them rid of them because you just wanted them out, but no thought of replacements? Who were the replacements?
That's what I was
Ryan
saying.
Sterling and Aubameyang that's just coming there to top up his pension?
Listen. Like I said,
Chelsea
Chelsea.
very good things that Arteta did. Not really for me, but yeah, go on.
Nah, for me, Chelsea lost their way, and it comes with the new owners. They were just selling, getting rid, and buying players and doing all sorts. But
yeah,
the team,
they need to sort themselves out
they
because
it
I'm
out.
hearing that they're going for a new defender for 30 million. That would take their
the Monaco guy. He's a good player.
That would take their spend to over 300 million. They want to buy Enzo and Fernandez for 105 million. That would take their spend in 6 months to 400 million. Is there no financial fair play anymore?
I'm sure that maybe they're offsetting the books. They've got rid of Werner and all sorts. Maybe they might get rid of someone else as well. Who knows?
Well, they have to because it's coming out as my old friend there, Klopp says, monopoly. We haven't got it's not monopoly. We have. Anyway, moving on to my beloved Liverpool. They beat Leicester because was it?
You were lucky.
His name was giving out belated Christmas presents.
Yeah,
2 own goals there in that game. There, he thought it was still Christmas for maybe the love for Liverpool. But Liverpool, even in that game, weren't great, and they scraped it. But the reality came tonight.
It could have been 6 tonight. It could have been 6. It literally could have been 6.
VAR was a saving grace. Even
how
though
many times
all of our goals off.
I'm sure you had flipping the Liverpool owners in the VAR room. Every minute they're giving the VAR room there's some money. Go, rule that one offside and please rule that. But it was too much. Then next minute VAR were like, we can't keep ruling it out. It looks a bit suspicious.
That one,
you have to let one go in.
That one has to be given. The worst thing is, Tony wasn't even there. Imagine if Tony was there, it could have been the Aston Villa scoreline, 7-2.
He could have been.
Van Dijk said he went off because he hurt his leg. Van Dijk knew that I've had a howler. He's had a howler. You're off. Just pretend to put ice on the knee so everyone can see that it was an injury. Not knowing that it's a tactical change. You're a poor captain. Nunez, my goodness. I said on social media, have we got the Uruguayan Peter Crouch? And I
No,
was
that's
doing a disservice to you, Peter Crouch, because you've done a good
facts.
job for us when you came here.
Excellent. Crouch is
In the
better than that.
robot dance. Is it the robot dance, Peter?
Crouch is better than that. He's better than that. Nunez.
Nunez.
But
Are
but
you
but
betting on missing than scoring? For God's sake,
Liverpool
are you
fans,
going to the same betting
he's the
school as
new
Tony?
he's a good player, but he's the new Timo Werner.
He is.
He's the
Timo
new
Werner. I heard one Liverpool fan say, what's it called? A name that I thought I'll never hear again. Andre Volorin or whatever. He had the
Vodman,
ponytail.
brilliant. Ukrainian with the ponytail now. He's awful. He's awful. He didn't have no pace, nothing to his game. It was awful. I think he played on the clock.
He looked like an alcoholic bouncer.
Facts. He does. His face does look. No.
But reality, let me just not. I don't want to spend too much time because time's permitting anyway. There's a big picture here, bigger picture. Klopp was asked last summer, "Are you happy with your midfield?" Klopp's answer was, "Yes, I'm happy. There's players coming back. They're like new players. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita, Thiago." But the thing is, you spoke about it about 10 minutes ago. Arsenal, even though they're Arsenal team full of youth and enthusiasm and hunger. Liverpool's full of what's it called, people coming to pensionable age. Thiago was sold by Bayern Munich because Bayern Munich knew that his best days were behind him, and to get 30 million for a 29-year-old going on to 30, they knew. Henderson, the legs are washed. Oxlade-Chamberlain, out of contract. Yes, nice header goal today, but you're not the future. Naby Keita, he's trying to say that he wants a pay rise. Pay rise for what? For charging private surgery every time on Bupa. You're having a laugh. So you out. And maybe Fabinho's had a late night there because his wife had their first child. Maybe he was sleeping. Their lack of sleep there because in the performance, he looked like he was sleepwalking there, for God's sake. Jones, no improvement in the last 3 years for Curtis Jones. My goodness. And Elliott, what a howler. What's it called? The only thing for Elliott is he was cheap. But for me, Elliott is not a top 6, top 7 guaranteed starter.
No.
They need to spend 200 million.
My goodness, look at your face. This is spend 200 million.
I don't mean buying Bellingham. I mean buying some players there. Let me end my rant. You can
it's okay. I feel. Listen, Liverpool club keeps complaining that they are no monopoly and all of this jazz, and yet you're still buying players. For me, I feel like Liverpool. Okay, you bought Nunez. Gakpo is a good buy. Don't get me wrong, but then could you have done without Gakpo for now? Of course you could have, because you've got people that
done without Nunez.
No.
Remember in the summer we were after what's it called? When we were after the guy that went to Real Madrid, the French midfielder. I forgot his name.
Tuchami.
Yes, listen, no chance or whatever. That's who we were going after. Like as a plan A. The thing is, obviously, if you don't get him, you should have a plan B. He went from chasing after a midfielder to buying a striker or whatever. I didn't understand. What was it?
Listen, it was still
midfield. Our midfield's dead.
No, it was still fine. When you look at it now with Diaz and Jota out, the Nunez acquisition was still fine, even though he's not performing. So that is bad.
At that time, they went out.
Yes, at that time they went out, but him buying those players, you said, okay, cool. That's a like-for-like replacement for Mane and Booyah. Obviously, how he was going to fit everything in, we don't know. But my goodness, the midfield should have been addressed. And if we, the fans, could see it for at least for the last year and a half, surely you work with these guys every day. You see the levels. Liverpool's cried out for a creative midfielder. Someone different.
It was Coutinho. And the thing is,
someone different.
Even if you don't want that, what's it called? Even if Klopp is stubborn, he doesn't like that style. But at the end of the day, Liverpool's team and squad under Klopp is being designed on high press and what's it called?
They ain't got it no more. Yeah, they ain't got it.
The workman-like midfielders are finished. They're no longer be able to protect the defense. That's why there's so much exposure. Yeah. As I said, Van Dijk looks like the black, what's it called, Harry Maguire. He's lost everything.
He would never be the same. When you have those knee surgeries, even I used to when I used to play football, even mine was
the knees are gone. It's gone.
Even mine was local. Once you have one too many surgeries, he only had one.
That's the worst one.
ACL, that's the worst you could have. And
Yeah,
once you have that, the knee, when you bend down, so that when you twist, sometimes you feel a little something. That's why it was the way Van Dijk defends these days. He's a bit too just
yeah. Yeah, and
lackadaisical. Just
you have to
relax.
remember, and also he also is a big guy as well. Is top heavy kind of guy. When you see his build there, still size 15 boots. So what's it called? He's a heavy guy there
My
still.
goodness, or is it 15 stones after Christmas?
Well, what's it called? He might have gone to the same school as Calvin Phillips or whatever. But anyway,
Yeah.
Liverpool's objective now, even though it was for a little while, for the last month or two, they need to at least finish fourth. If not, they've blown themselves simple. We've been here before, and somehow we did the great escape. We did it the season after we won the Prem, when we had no centre backs. Somehow in February, we were 12 points behind fourth place, and we finished third. So it's not over. As I say, never give up till the fight is done. What did you say? I said, never give up till the fight is done. All right.
Well, listen, Arsenal this season, forget Liverpool, man. Everything's lunar, man. You had your turn. You won the Champions League. You won the Premier League. Let us have our
Make sure you win it anyway. Make sure you win it, because you won't get a better chance.
I know you're hating. Don't worry about us. Don't worry. Make sure you win it. Make sure you win it. I told you, we win it. I'm sure this show would be all
out. You want to do a Kevin? You want to do a Kevin Keegan?
I told you I would love to finish.
Yeah, that's it. There you go.
Next minute we lose against Newcastle. Listen,
let's quickly fly through the what's it called mid Tuesday games there. Arsenal, Newcastle.
Arsenal.
I think Arsenal 2-1 or 2-0. Everton, Brighton.
Draw or Brighton win.
I think I think Everton can maybe scrape 1-0 win. Leicester, Fulham.
Score draw.
I think Fulham once again continue their good form there. 2-1 there still. Man United and Bournemouth.
Oh, come on, sure game. Man United win.
Home win by a few goals. Southampton, Forest. This is a 6-pointer.
That's a draw. Or Nottingham Forest might beat Southampton. Southampton, the manager they employed was just poor moves. They might even get relegated at this point. But yeah, I'll go Nottingham.
Even though Nottingham Forest, I think they've got the worst away record in the Premiership. You're still going with that?
I'll go with Nottingham, yeah.
All right, then I'm going for Southampton. Leeds versus West Ham. Moyes is in big trouble.
Tough game. I'll go with a score draw.
There's quite a few draws. I remember that. I think I remember episodes last time when we had when there was four of us there. There was people going for so many draws, and I think you one of them. But I think I'm going for. I think West Ham will scrape it there still. And Villa Wolves. Villa, yeah, I think in the Midland derby, I'm going for Villa as well. Yep. Palace versus Spurs, London derby.
Spurs.
Okay, so yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm going for. I think it's going to be a draw. That's my first draw still. Even though I think I can edge it to Palace. But let me just try and stay on the fence.
Be strong.
I'm being strong. I think it'd be a draw there still, but I wouldn't be shocked if Spurs if Palace won. And then the final game there, Chelsea versus Man City. I'm going for away win, because you have to change the squad, the lineup, and I think they'd be a bit angry.
Yeah, away win as well.
Yeah. So well done,
everyone.
Yeah, go on.
That's Chelsea doing a job. But yeah.
Well, there you go still there. Well done, everyone there. Thank you for tuning into our previous episode there. The numbers were back to where we like to see them. Hopefully.
They're not back to where I want to see more. They ain't back to where I want.
Obviously, we want to see more, but it's good to see them at least going in the right direction there.
You can't start the new year.
Happy New Year! Sorry.
All right, listen, guys. Thanks for watching, man. Tune in.
There you go.